Did you ever tell your dad that I was white, or did he just know?
I didn't.
When I talked to him on the phone.
He didn't know until he saw you in person.
Oh, he didn't know?
No.
Oh.
Hey guys, Sarah here and
Aaron.
Welcome back to the Zebra Tribe fam. So today we are going to do a Q&A because it's been a minute since we've done a sit down video for you guys. So today's Q&A is going to answer some of the questions that you guys have been putting in the description box. We'll see if we can get through them all. Before we get into the questions, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so you can get all of our latest videos because YouTube does this thing where they don't always alert you guys unless your notification bell is turned on. So definitely do that, as well as leave a comment down below. If you do leave comments that you want answered, it will be featured in our next Q&A because, you know, we want to update you guys on what's happening. So what is it like to live in Canada? Now, this is something that I feel like we've answered a few times before, but I know that there are a lot of you guys that are new and a lot of you that are not familiar with, I don't know, Canada on a whole. So what's it like living here? Maybe they're asking.
It's pretty quiet. I mean, if you look at, I read a lot of news, national news for Canada. It's pretty quiet in general. Like, we don't have a lot of things going on. Look at comparatively like New York Times, CNN. There's like it's polar opposite. Canadians like to talk about the weather. We're pretty quiet. Like, we don't have a lot of things going on.
Okay, but what's it like living here? A lot of the people that have asked are actually, you know, Black, or maybe they're in interracial relationships as well, and they want to know what it's like living here. Main question that people want to ask, is it multicultural? Yes. Yes, it's multicultural. Do you get a lot of discrimination? I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to. But yes, we've had discrimination. We faced discrimination here and there. It's not like a regular thing, but when it's occurred, like, it's very obvious. And then there are times when I will experience it on my own, when even with him, but he won't recognize it or see it because obviously he's generally not the one being shunned. Like, we haven't exactly dealt with you being shunned for necessarily being with someone outside of your race, but it's usually people shunning me for my race. Oh,
because you're stepped outside your race.
Not, well, yeah, I've gotten that too, because I've stepped outside my race, but then but people like shunning me, or it's like that disgust look. Like,
you've said that people have given me bad looks before too, when we're walking. Been like, did you see the way that person looked at you?
I don't know. Maybe that's a
maybe
long.
Maybe I did, and I just like it just went like.
But maybe that's a long time ago. Like, a lot of the things that we're talking about now, there was things that we faced a long time ago. But like modern, like just typical daily life stuff, there are times when we'll all be together and I get that look, like snobbish look from a person. I even got it when yesterday. Where were we yesterday? We were at Costco.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got it at Costco yesterday. Yesterday, this man was passing by pushing his cart with his, it was a Caucasian man, of course, and he was pushing a cart with a little baby. So cute. Just put perfectly little rounded head and just like giggling and smiling. And I was like, oh, so cute. And he was like he just kept pushing the cart and looked at me like you were crazy. And I just stood there and I looked around thinking, did anyone see that?
I didn't see that.
And
where was I?
You went to go get something.
Oh, shoot.
And yeah, I deal with that kind of stuff. And then there was another time yesterday where Zoe was walking around and just, she's so happy and cheerful. And honestly, most people that see her are like, oh, so cute, and smiling and you know, or will wave hi, or do, you know, people who are kind or just nice. And this woman she just walked and looked at her and just gave her, I'm like, it's a baby. You're gonna give a baby a dirty look? That is cold. You know, so
Ooh,
and
that's shivers.
It's kind of weird encountering it twice in one day, but I deal with stuff like that on the regular. I've dealt with it in church where we've had to shake hands with people and someone literally just like turned around or looked at me funny, like they didn't want to shake my hand. So yeah,
was that here?
Yes, that was like months back. That was just like 6 months ago.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know, so yeah, I've dealt with stuff like that, and
that's crazy.
You don't expect to, but it is there. And yeah, it's just
small-minded people.
It's small-minded people, and I feel like they are everywhere. The irony is, when we traveled through the US, I don't know if we got a lot of that. I felt like a lot of people were pretty welcoming.
Yeah, most people were pretty welcoming. I remember one time we were in Georgia, and we got out to go to like McDonald's, and there was a black family that came out, and they were looking at us like we were strange. But I mean, for the most part.
So in terms of it being in Canada, like, there's diversity, and I guess it all depends on where you are too. Maybe if you're focused in, like, just focused in Toronto specifically, you will probably not encounter it as much. But who am I to say? I don't live in the core of Toronto. Do live in Toronto outskirts area, and when you do live in those kind of areas, sometimes you are more of a minority, and when you are that, you're more likely to encounter that kind of.
I think Toronto still has issues still, right?
I just said that.
Sure,
I'm
so,
aware that they will have issues. That's what, but I'm trying to say that because it is the melting pot, that's where everything occurs. You want to feel like, obviously, there will be less of it, because when you're there, people don't stop. It's so fast paced, and people, they don't really take too much time to blink an eye at you. They're just like about their own business. It's like go, 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 right? But in terms of like just smaller communities and stuff like that, where you're still the minority, I don't know, in my mind I'm like, we are the minority for sure. So sometimes when this happens, I don't know, I'm like, is it just me being black? Is it me just, you know, being in a interracial relationship, having mixed kids? It's hard to kind of separate the two, because I don't know what it is that people are always just frowning at. But then when I'm by myself, or when I'm with the baby and they give me certain looks, I'm pretty aware that it's usually like it's me. Oh. Right? So to answer your question, overall, I think Canada is it's a really nice place to live. The healthcare system is is great. It's like pretty decent. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to worry about healthcare. You don't have to worry about that. I'm sure there are things that you'd have to, like schools and things that you have to, I don't know, I don't even want to go into that, because like the schools in America is the same thing. Yeah, so that's a whole other conversation. Yeah, it's a whole. But living in Canada, it's pretty safe. It's pretty quiet. It's pretty peaceful. And there are other interracial families here. There are. There's not actually. It is pretty multicultural. It's there. It's just not, obviously, like I said, you're going to be a minority regardless. It's you know, it's very different seeing it through the eyes of someone else. Like, you see it as it's pretty multicultural, but me, like, I see it, oh, it's happening and it's there, but we're still the minority. Right. Because I always feel like a minority. It's like if you came to live in Jamaica, though there are other Caucasians around, you would be the minority. I'd be the minority. And that's what it feels like here. Even though I feel like you do see a lot of races around, you know. Still, yeah. Yeah. It's true. So last question. So did any of our family members have any issues with us being with someone of another race? You want to go first? Sure. No. I don't actually have a big family. So I don't have a big family. Yeah, you don't. I have a sister, parents. But in terms of that, like, even when he's dated black women in the past, or black girls. Then we classify them as women. But when you first presented them to your family, what did they think? I didn't feel like they treated them any other way than like a normal person of any race. Yeah, they had no issue. They never even brought it up to me. That's good. And they never asked, like, why are you dating a black person, or, you know, is there a reason behind it of any kind? They never asked that. So on my end it was the same. Like, my parents never gave some I feel like some parents, cultural parents, maybe Caribbean parents or African parents, might talk to their kids about dating culturally. My parents have never done that. Any kind of boundaries they might have? Yeah, like, my parents never did that. They never said, oh, this is who you should date. This race or anything like that. Did you ever tell your dad that I was white, or did he just know? I didn't. When I talked to him on the phone. He didn't know until he saw you in person. Oh, he didn't know? No. Oh. I never brought it up, right? Because that's the thing. When you have that level of comfort, you wouldn't have to be like, having to distinguish what race the person is, because it's not like you think and expect there to be a shock factor when you bring them home. That my parents were pretty open-minded. Even though my parents are very cultural, they're very open-minded about that, and they never had any qualms about that. Like, your race and discussion of race has never come up with them ever since I've been with you.
Right. No, I believe that.
Right, so yeah.
I was just curious.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, even to this day, like, I can't remember us ever having a discussion about race, like, pertaining to be with you. Even if we ever discussed race, it was something that we were discussing casually while we were all there.
Right. I was just asking.